Hi, I'm Levi Woods, and I would really love to go to Harvard. So here's my video essay. I can go to Harvard because fashion. I do fashion, and I'm really smart. I passed my LSAT. Today we're watching the movie, what's this called? Legally Blonde. We watched Legally Blonde today, and that was my little thing of Elle Woods, but it's Elle. And so we're gonna watch the movie. We did watch the movie, and it was good. I liked it. What did you guys think?
You want to go straight there, so we don't have to talk about the movie very
Do
much?
you want to give we can give a synopsis of it, of what?
Okay, go ahead.
All right, so basically Elle Woods is a kind of a blonde. That's kind of the color of her hair, and also her personality, played by Reese Witherspoon. And she's just kind of like I don't know what the word is, that's like ditzy blonde kind of. And she has her boyfriend who breaks up with her at the beginning of the movie, and she's really upset about it. And he does it because he has to go to Harvard Law School. And so she kind of works hard and kind of gets her grades up and passes the LSATs, and she goes to Harvard too to try to win him back. And when she's there, she finds out that he's moved on, and so she's kind of put out of a place where she has to kind of decide what to do. So she decides to keep going for him. And as she's doing this, she kind of decides, or she kind of finds out about herself, and she kind of discovers that maybe law isn't too hard of a thing. Maybe it's something that she would like to do with her life. And so she kind of does this. She does well. She kind of gets put on a case with her teachers, and then, I guess I won't spoil it, but there's some shenanigans that happen. So what do you guys think about the movie?
I'll let you start.
Well, this wasn't the first time I've seen Legally Blonde.
Actually, you know what? Here's what I'll do. I'll start off with a story. So the other night, I'm talking with Chris over Xbox Live.
I wasn't there.
Levi wasn't there. So Chris has been kind of confused as to why Levi would choose a movie like Legally Blonde.
Naturally.
For our show. And he's like, dude, why did Levi choose Legally Blonde? Like, come on, dude. And I'm just like calming him down. I'm like, Chris, all we need to do is just come into it with an open mind. I know we've seen it years ago. We didn't really like it, but let's, maybe growing up and seeing it again, we'll find something about it that we like. And we just need to, look to see if there's any good things we like, or then what the bad things are. We can just find something about it that you possibly could like. And I was kind of being the voice of reason, and then we started watching it, and 10 minutes in, I broke.
I think you're kind of unreasonable, Keegan, but are you playing
confused.
this up for the camera, or are you serious?
I really did not like this movie.
Okay. All right. So I like this movie. I'm not being ironic or anything. I like this movie. I think it's a fun little thing. It's not the greatest movie, but it's fun. And so I'm kind of curious as to why you didn't like it. Maybe that's a good plane of conversation.
Before we get into your... we've already gotten into it. I'll just say. It's not like I hate this movie.
Okay.
I think I do.
The story isn't the worst.
Nope.
The premise isn't unfamiliar, but it's, whatever. It's fine. And there are certain parts that I'm like, okay, like, I liked that.
Yeah.
It's just such a...
It's so bland. There's like nothing about it that like stands out.
Okay, I mean, I don't know about that.
Even Reese Witherspoon, this was like a big moment in her career.
Yeah.
And even her I found to be mostly annoying.
Okay, do you want to elaborate? Is it just her
Just
character?
the way
or her
the way she
acting?
talks and her acting.
You didn't find her character at all endearing?
Not really.
Okay.
Okay, so maybe that's where we kind of split off. Is you kind of were annoyed by the whole thing?
Yeah.
I kind of like the characters because they're almost like a spoof of themselves. Like they're just kind of like she's large. Like no one actually acts that way, but you kind of know people who do kind of act that way a little bit. But I think it's just one big joke, and they're just kind of in on the joke, and that's what makes it fun. That's what I see. But I don't know.
But if it's one big joke, then it doesn't feel like it's being executed very well.
Well, okay.
Especially when the certain plot points come up and you're like, of course.
Yeah. I mean, it has that. It has, okay, you expect what's going to happen, but I never really took it as a serious movie. I just thought it was funny.
But a comedy needs to have
No, it doesn't.
Every movie needs to have like a plot and like I mean, that's like saying that the Hot Fuzz and those types of comedies are just supposed to be comedies, but those characters go through stuff.
All right. Okay. So her original reason to going to Harvard is to win back her boyfriend.
Yeah.
Ultimately, she realizes that she's good at this whole lawyer thing.
Yep.
And she, in the end, completes it because it's something that she wants for herself. And, in the end, she...
Oh, I get it.
I know. I'm just
the
saying.
movie makes sure you get it.
So you feel like this is a movie that sort of beats you over the head with like what it's supposed to.
I think it's literally just a movie to be a movie.
Well, isn't every movie a movie just to be a movie?
No. This movie just doesn't have anything that's like interesting to say. It's just trying to be a silly comedy, and I don't even think it meets those criteria for me.
Okay, I think it is kind of funny. I remember watching some of the jokes and like, oh yeah, this joke, I remember this joke, and laughing. And I look over at Keegan, and he's just being a poopy face. I don't know. And he's just kind of like has his hand in his head, and he's just like.
Because I could not believe how it was like trying to deliver. Like the delivery is what I found terrible.
Okay.
Like
I mean,
it's
but I feel
not
like
just it's not just the writing, it's how they delivered it.
I think
which bad comedic writing mixed with bad delivery is like the worst thing.
See, I think you're just kind of used to a certain kind of comedy that this is not. Because like you mentioned Hot Fuzz or whatever, and this is totally different. It's not trying to be something like that.
But it's trying to say something about her finding herself.
Sure,
sort of thing.
Every movie has to have kind of like that thing.
Exactly, and it was lazy about it.
I think they had like an idea of this girl who goes to law school, and then she kind of finds herself. Okay, cool, that's fun. But what do we do?
I mean, the concept is like, it's breaking the stereotype that blondes aren't dumb.
Yeah, and that's kind of like, oh yeah, we already know that, but it's kind of like, so it's kind of nothing new, but it's just kind of a fun journey, and that's kind of why I picked it. I like some of the jokes. I laughed. These guys kind of were different, I guess.
I think the thing for me was, I think it's a ridiculous concept for her to go to Harvard just to get her boyfriend back. And I think that could have worked. But they just rode the line of like bland, like jokes, like obvious jokes that I just was just kind of like,
Okay, what's
I
obvious?
first of all don't care about any of these characters.
I do.
And then I don't care about any of the humor because none of it's clever.
It's clever. You don't like the bend and snap?
No, that's the worst thing I've ever seen.
I think if you're a fun
I
girl like
see.
me, you would love the bend and snap.
That
These guys,
scene, that was the scene that made me go, I think I hate this movie.
I think it's a great movie. I think it's a great concept. The bend and snap. How many times have we used the bend and snap? Every time.
I don't even get the snap part. I get the bend over because, ooh, you see the booty.
No, it's not
But
even
then-
about that.
but
It's
then
much
the
deeper.
snap
Don't
up.
even talk to me. Nope.
Well, then explain it to me.
Nope, you just don't get it. You're a man. So, when we were kind of going over a list of which movies we wanted to do for the show, I was kind of struggling, and I said this movie kind of as a joke, but I still do like it. I just knew that they would probably struggle with it, but I think for this movie, it's so it's 2001. It's been 20 years, so it's kind of an older movie. I watched it when I was younger. That was a long time ago. I've watched it a couple times since, but from memories of this one is watching it with my sister and her friend, and it was just good memories.
So it's nostalgic for you.
It's a little nostalgic for me.
Okay.
But I think it still holds up. I think you could still laugh if you're not taking it too seriously.
My favorite part of the movie was seeing Robbie Rotten.
How you doing today?
Fine.
Yep.
My other favorite part of the movie was the perverted Harvard.
Alias, the guy from
No,
Alias.
no. Toward the beginning, when they're watching her intro video
Oh.
thing, and they're like, "Oh, we could have her come in."
Oh yeah, a bunch of stuffy white guys.
Yeah,
The whole reason she got in is because she's a hot blonde.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of funny. What was another part I smiled at?
You laughed at her mission when I object.
I feel comfortable using legal jargon in everyday life. I object.
Yes, that was pretty funny.
That's a good joke. It's funny. See?
Yeah, I'm trying to find positives. Okay.
Yes.
I want to hear negatives from you.
You want to hear negatives from me?
Yes.
I mean, I agree with like the cheesiness of the writing, where like the hits, every time it hits, it's like they just say it. Like they don't like kind of like build up anything. It's just like, oh, at this point, we're at this point in the movie where this person has to say this thing and do this thing. But you kind of forgive that when you realize that's not what the movie's about. It's more just about having a fun time and laughing.
But you can't have a fun time and laughing if nothing's hitting.
I mean, the jokes are hitting for me. And I think that's where we kind of disagree is...
One other little thing I was going to bring up is the toxic masculinity in the movie.
Okay.
One of the big plot points is she finds out a character is lying by finding out that he is interested in fashion. Thus, that makes him gay.
Don't stomp your little last season Prada shoes at me, honey.
From last season. Emmett! He's gay! Enrique is gay!
What?
Okay.
And I would point out that that's toxic masculinity, because why does a guy have to be gay in order to be interested in stuff like that?
Okay, so it's a
And-
little 2001. Who cares?
And she ends up being right. So what the movie's saying is that
You shouldn't judge blondes, but you should judge people based on their knowledge of fashion.
yes.
Okay, whatever.
Oh, I thought that was a little.
Well, I'll have you know, in Legally Blonde 2, they kind of correct that. But that was a horrible movie. Don't watch it. I watched it in the theater. Don't watch it.
Okay, I'm not even like trying to bust your balls or anything. Like I don't care that you like this movie. I just don't get it.
Okay. I mean,
And-
that might be it.
What do you have to say?
Yeah, Keegan's kind of been taking over the whole thing. What do you have to say, Chris?
I think I've said everything I need to say.
All right.
It's fine. I'm just glad that it's over. Ratings?
Sure.
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, go first, Keegan.
I wonder what it's going
All
to
right.
be.
Well, okay. I'll also say this before I do my rating.
Okay.
When I originally saw this, however many years ago it was,
Yep.
I thought it was okay.
Yep.
And I was expecting to just kind of feel the same way.
Liar!
But I'm giving it 2 thumbs down. I kind of just despise it.
You just really hated it.
There's a few little jokes here and there that I kind of like giggled or smiled at, but other than that, I don't find any sort of enjoyment.
Chris?
Well, for me, it's just very middle of the road. So just
Okay.
very,
Wow.
just side thumb, take it or leave it. There's some parts that are okay. There are other parts that are not. This movie exists.
All right, so I'm gonna give it a thumbs up. Obviously, I don't think it's the greatest movie.
I'm actually surprised you went aside with them for that. I felt like you hated that almost as much as I did.
Anyways, I give it a thumbs up. It's a great movie. It's not the best. I had fun watching it again. I had some memories because me, my sister, and my friend, her friend, my friend too. We always used to quote this movie over and over when it came out, and I don't feel bad about the thumbs up because I am in good company. Because apparently Ebert and Roper gave it 2 thumbs up, according to the box. And so thanks for watching our review, and make sure you study hard to get into Harvard. To win your boyfriend back.